There is a new effort in Westchester to play it safe when it comes to head injuries.
That's right. Liz Dahlem shows us how experts, athletes, and coaches are all teaming up.
Lean back.
It can be the dark side to sports. Head injuries and concussions are happening now more than ever among young athletes.
So they told me that my brain rattled around in my skull.
Casey Friedman told Dan Bowens in this Fox doc she suffered 3 concussions while playing in high school. According to the latest numbers from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, some 45 million kids play organized sports every year. Close to 4 million of them will suffer from a concussion. Westchester County Executive Rob Estorino formed a concussion task force made up of coaches, athletic directors, and brain specialists. Their job? To develop a program for sideline management and post-injury treatment for high school athletes.
We hope to come up with a protocol where sports, leagues and clubs, as well as our schools, can use going forward in the fall.
In the state of New York, students with a suspected concussion must be removed from the game and examined by a healthcare professional. But students may not be getting the care they need because there's no mandate for an athletic trainer to be present at a game.
In Westchester County, less than 50% of the schools have a full-time athletic trainer.
The task force wants school officials to make sure the athlete's medical information gets from the sidelines to the ER and back to the school so coaches can keep them safe.
That's one of the most important things we can do as teachers, coaches, is to make sure that they're in a safe environment, and that continues, and they go on and do the most they can with their lives.
There's going to be a free conference on concussions for parents to attend on August 20th. It'll take place from 5:30 to 8:30 at the Westchester County Center. From White Plains, Liz Dahlem, Fox 5 News.
All right, and joining us now is Dr. Devi of the NYU School of Medicine.
Hello.
Hi, nice to see you again.
All right, so are you feeling kind of positive about this task force? What could come out of it?
Yeah, I think it's a great step forward. I mean, being able to identify these head injuries early on, get patients to care pretty early on, and also coordinate with the ER and with the doctor's offices. So I think it's a step forward. I mean, the risk is you're not actually preventing the head injury, at least the initial head injury. You're just sort of minimizing the potential damage afterwards.
Right, no, I think we've totally changed our attitude towards it. I think even when we were kids growing up, tough it up, get back on the field, don't worry about it. Do you see my fingers? And now it's like, no, this is a serious thing. It can have a long-term effect.
Of course.
If you don't properly treat it right off the bat.
Of course. And also, I think, just the understanding that we have about head injury is changing over time. So before, you used to look for serious head injuries where people were knocked unconscious. Now it's a little bit different, and you can see a lot of these milder symptoms afterwards.
It's so frightening. Okay, got to ask you about something else. Virtual doctor visits. They're apparently on the rise these days, but there is a bit of a concern, understandably so. Experts say that these online video chats may cause the number of misdiagnosed cases to actually skyrocket.
Oh, I think that's a risk, but I've done them before. I like them.
Have?
Yeah, so I think they're really useful for certain patients. I mean, we've used them in the past for people who really have a lot of trouble moving, so spinal cord injury patients, people who are older, maybe debilitated. Because if you think about it, it's not just the visit, right? They have to go through this whole process of getting to the doctor's office and getting back. And even for regular people, for routine visits, think about the money that you might spend traveling, but also the time off from work. If you have children that you take care of, a babysitter.
And all that may just ultimately lead you to not go to the doctor.
Exactly.
Say it's too much of a headache.
Well, that's the argument. One of the arguments against it is that for some insurance companies or even for the government, they said the cost of healthcare may actually go up because people who don't see the doctor right now may suddenly opt for these virtual visits.
Right.
So there's always a risk of misdiagnosis, malpractice. But I think for routine things, I mean, to me, I think this is a good thing to follow up on tests or to get refills of medications.
Yeah, and if you're not a person who likes to go to the doctor, yes, it starts the conversation.
Of course.
And then maybe you could go and see an in-person follow-up, but it's a lot better than not going at all.
I think so, for certain
could
things,
be really problematic as well.